Video game history is a rich and complex web of interwoven influences and happy accidents. Genres and subgenres sprout up and die as quick as wildflowers after a good rain. And there's few things I love more than getting to the bottom of one of these genres to create a better understanding of their history. Hi, I'm FDRawr. I stream video games over on Twitch and occasionally make YouTube videos here about anything that's rattling around in my noggin. Usually, that's ASYMS, or asymmetrical online video games. But today, I wanted to dive into the history of the genre, and maybe use what we learned to glean a little insight into the future of this vaguely defined video game category. Part 1. History. It'd be near impossible to give a definitive time when asymmetry was introduced into video games. Do you count the first instance of online asymmetry or the first multiplayer mode to feature asymmetry? Are Mario Party games canon in the history of ASYMS? Well, yes, in a way. My own first exposure to ASYMS would likely be Mario Party, when one player would be pit against the other three in certain minigames. Now, I know there are likely ASYM examples dating back to the genesis, of gaming, and the exact origins of the genre will always be up for debate, just not with me. As a feature in a party game, asymmetrical gameplay fits just fine and doesn't need to worry too much about balancing, as Mario Party features a significant rubber band effect that makes the game unfair as a rule. This is a good example of the very roots of ASYMS, but in 2008 we can see the budding moppet that would come to define how asymmetrical gameplay would look. From the horror aesthetic to the team-based cooperative gameplay, Left 4 Dead made a huge impact when it hit the gaming scene. Due in part to the genius marketing promotion of the title's in-game AI director, which, funny enough, was kind of an expansion on Nintendo's rubber band effect. The AI director was in charge of ensuring that the game never got too difficult or too easy on players by allowing for it to spawn hordes of enemies, spawn special enemies, and even to alter the map to slow the player's progress. This made it feel like you were against a person even when you were playing the campaign. But the real relation comes in the multiplayer mode, wherein one team was assigned to be special infected, zombies, Zambos, whatever you want to call them, to halt the progress of the survivor team. And after the round was over, they'd swap roles and do it again. It was monumental. Attending a LAN party during this era was by far one of the most entrenching experiences ever. You'd start to see people develop mains on the zombie side and swap controllers to maintain control of their preferred character. You saw friendships blossom and burn to the ground at these parties. Oof. I'm aging myself. I apologize. Valve really outdid themselves with this one. The ripple from this game and its sequel, Left 4 Dead 2, are still pushing the sales of new titles such as Back 4 Blood and State of Decay. These games required teamwork, but real teamwork. Not just coordinated headshots, but people needed to go out of their way to help one another. A concise plan had to be followed in order to overcome the AI director or enemy players. Left 4 Dead is a monumental masterpiece, and it earned its spot in history. But where do we go from there? It won't be very surprising to find that the next big splash in this genre could very well be a game named Evolve. Made by a lot of the same folks who worked on Left 4 Dead, this game is what I would consider the first official mold for ASYMS. Evolve brought to the table a 4v1 online gameplay style. One person would control a giant monster trying to destroy the 4 human hunters in a hostile trap-filled environment. The game, like Left 4 Dead, became a cult classic and was forever burned into the brains of die-hard fans like Don't Rage Quit, and would be a heavy influence on the more recent juggernaut of the genre, Dead by Daylight. Part 2. Dead by Daylight to present. In 2016, the genre would finally be solidified by the game Dead by Daylight from Behavior Interactive. I've spent way too much time editing videos of me talking about this to throw together another one just for a definition here. But check out my other discussion videos by clicking wherever the thing is if you'd like to learn more about the game. Beyond the fact that it's a 4v1 horror-themed cat and mouse asymmetrical online game that sets the standard for years to come. Via clever licensing licensing, and a dedicated staff of workers, Behavior navigated some of the highest highs and lowest lows of the genre, securing their place as the industry titan. From 2016 to 2023, we'd see many attempts at unseating the king from their throne, but nothing that stuck. In fact, here's an incomplete list of some games in that genre who deserve a sweet obituary. Deceit, Friday the 13th, Identity V, last year, Prop Hunt, Prop Night, Video Horror Society, more on that here, Carnival Hunt, Evil Dead, and HSH. Nothing, absolutely nothing has even remotely phased Dead by Daylight beyond its own company making questionable decisions from time to time. The game struck a perfect balance between memorable characters, easy to understand but difficult to master game mechanics, and by providing a very fun watching experience. Dead by Daylight has always enjoyed a large viewership, and in fact, a lot of DBD fans don't even actually play the game, they just like to watch it. So any competition to DBD has this to overcome. It needs to be balanced enough for the game to survive its own repetitive nature. It needs to have memorable enough characters to make people want to commit to grinding them out for points. And it needs to be fun to play and watch from both sides of the asymmetry. Thus far, nothing has captured all three. Therefore, nothing has created a viable competition. At time of writing, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is actually doing extremely well, but it's far too early on in its life to really make a comment on how it's going to do. Love the game though.
Part 3. Future.
What does the future of this genre hold? Really, we can only speculate on the future and reflect on the past. Attempts in this genre can have a lifespan as short as 1 month or one as long as a year. If you'd like to see my coverage of what I consider DBD's strongest competitor in history, click there. But whatever's coming next is going to need to be amazing. It's going to need to find a way to make the experience as playable as it is watchable. It's going to need to have incredible balance in regards to the opposing roles. And it's going to require a strong marketing budget. Unlike other genres like first-person shooters or MMORPGs, ASYMS don't seem to leave much room in the market for alternatives. And my main hope for the future is that games like Texas Chainsaw or other yet-to-be-released titles will change that for the better. If you like this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content, or check out my Twitch to watch my gameplay live. Either way, thank you for being here, and I hope that this year you continue to bring light and love into people's lives. Have a wonderful day.